guys, I have beaten the Abyss final boss, and I have done most of the extra content. Well, not most. I've done, like, I don't know, some of it. I've got 87% completion. You know what I mean, I think I've done a lot of what this game has to offer. There's only 13% of more that it has to offer to me. And I honestly don't think I'm going to rate this game above like a 6 out of 10. I truly hated playing this game. Now, don't get me wrong, everything I'm about to list, like right now, is probably like a 9 to 8 out of 10. The atmosphere, the story, the like unique stuff that it doesn't do in Hollow Knight. For example, the quest system is really cool. Like, I think this is really unique and neat. Though it is absolutely garbage because I only use the Wanderer the entire time. The rest of these are kind of buns to use, to be completely honest with you. But anyways, I also found like some ways that they did stuff. For example, Hollow Knight, when I played, I felt like way too lost and I had no idea what to do or where to go. I feel like I have a bit more of an idea with like the tasks in this game. I don't know if they're any real different, but I felt like I had more of an idea of where I was going. That was quite nice. I personally didn't mind the transport system that much. I don't think it's great, and I feel like there is, like, for example, the Abyss. Like, this is long to get to, but otherwise I don't think there's that many problems with it. I mean, there's clearly a massive problem here. No bench. I don't know, man. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. But I think like there's a lot of good stuff that this game did well. Like, there was a really good world building too. I really liked. I didn't mind how the like the whatever these things are called, these badges were called. I really liked how they were done. I think it was really cool. I also liked the Vesta crest, which you could unlock by singing with your needling and going down here. But my biggest problem about this game is just the tediousness of this game. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think this game is kind of hard. I don't want to say it's like that hard by any means. I don't think it's like world levels hard, as again, I should be the true final boss. I only did like, I know I did less than 20 tries, or I'm pretty sure I did less than 20 tries, and the final boss isn't that annoying because the bench is right here. But the thing is, like, some bosses just make zero sense. For example, when I beat the second final boss, which is this person up here. Wait, is it this person up here? Wait, that's actually gone. Oh, yeah, it's because in the Act 3 it's gone. But anyways, the final boss, second final boss up here, which is the end of Act 2 final boss, was actually really easy to beat. I beat it first try without much thought, which is stupid. But let me put it like this: if you don't search up anything, if I could not search up a single thing for this game, I would not rate it more than a 3 out of 10. And that's simply because I searched up so much stuff for this game. Now, I don't mind doing that personally, but I do think it's a bit of a goofy thing to have to search up stuff in this game. For example, I searched up how to get like all the masks, or I didn't even know you could upgrade your needle until 25 hours into my run. Keep in mind I have 40 hours on the slot. I searched up how to get the third silk heart. I searched up how to get the claw line and the fade down cloak. I didn't know how to get these things, like, at all. Like, I was so lost. Now, personally, I'm the type of guy where if I don't feel like I know what the hell I'm doing in 20 minutes, I'm gonna immediately search it up. Maybe you're different. Maybe you don't ever search anything up. But also, don't put it like this: you will never even realize putrefied ducts or bile water exists at all in this entire game. I think, or at least I would have never known if I didn't search up. Don't put it like this: to get to bile water in early Act 2 or in late Act 1, you have to go through Sinner's Road, which at the time, by the way, is the worst place in the map. It is also like, or in general, it's one of the worst places in the entire game. Then you go, and then you have to go deep. Look at this distance. From all the way over here, boom, 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 actually no, boom, boom, and then you have to smack some more over here. That is long. Then you have to go all this distance. Like, look at this distance. From here, all that way, just to get to the nearest bench. That, by the way, if I didn't search up the secret bench, I would have never found it. I would have never found it. And if you never found this, this run back is, I mean, guys, just look at what I'm showing you right now. That is a joke. That is a genuine joke of a run back. That shouldn't be in the game. Like, this seriously should not be in the game. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. I truly don't. I don't know. Also, I don't like going to Coral Tower. I lost my mind way too many times here. It's really jarring. Getting the fade down cloak was really jarring. It's just so tedious. My favourite time of this game was unironically at the end of Act 3 when I fought the 3 final bosses, because all of them usually had a bench near them or like somewhere near, and they weren't too hard, and the actual boss fights, they didn't feel like really like stupid. Like they didn't summon enemies just to make it harder. It was more like they had like cool features about them. That's what I really liked about them. I also really love the final boss fight because it feels more like a duel, which a lot of people say, where they attack, you attack. They attack, you attack. I really like that. And it wasn't that hard. I really loved that final boss fight, despite it taking me, I think, maybe tired for the max amount of tries I've done. But the fact that the final boss is as bad as a Savage Beast Fly, both of them, by the way. When I first fought it, it was like actual rage. I fought for the second time, actual rage. Growl is a joke of a boss because of the run back. Single-handedly makes him the worst in the game. I can't fathom any other reason. I just think like the boss difficulty is not proportional with how difficult it should be. Like the second act's final boss is easy, literally free. Breadsticks, bro. Growl is cancer. I think I only died to him twice though, because I was actually mad locked in and I watched some like tips videos, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Same with this Abyss boss. I actually watched some tips because I thought there would be like 5 phases, but there was only 2, which really shocked me. I was like, oh, it's a lot easier than I thought. But like some bosses, like Savage Beast Fly, is just like a joke. I mean, there's a lot of other bosses that I would mention, but like I can't really think of any as of right now. I mean, there was so many like enemies that I just struggled to fight, and it was so infuriating. Like, I truly have not gotten so angry at a game. I think, let me put it like this, I think that the game runs also well and is fair priced. But if you do not like games where you're just getting like basically harassed and just like be in the shower 24/7, this is not a good game for you. Like, you should not actually touch it. If you're suicidal, don't play this game. Like, I'm serious. This is not good for your health. Like, for example, I just played a game called Kill or Love, which is literally a fucking visual novel for free. And I'm not even joking when I say that I enjoyed that around 10 times more than this entire game, because this game took way longer to play. It was not free. And I was getting way more agitated at this game. I don't get a single time pissed off at that visual novel. I have 25 hours of this entire game, I would say, is probably how pissed off I got. Maybe up to 30 hours of just straight hatred behind playing this game. The more you play, the worse it gets. Again, I can't fix this problem in Act 3. And it's like, I wouldn't mind, I may not be able, like, for example, in Breath of the Wild, when you defeat Ganon, and you get taken back to the last save, it's nowhere near as bad as this. Because in this, every enemy is literally cancer. The Marrow enemies can literally fucking 5-shot you, even at max HP. I mean, it's a joke, man. It's a joke. It's a damn joke. I'm thankful that there's only like 2 enemies I can really think of that do 3 damage, which is actually the second act final boss and the actual true final boss. The fact that almost every enemy does double damage is really jarring. And it's even worse. For example, when I was fighting the Savage Beast Fly rematch 2, it was truly cancer and annoying. Not because, no, it was because everything there did 2 damage, but it wasn't even that. It was the fact that you could get caught with your pants down and basically get hit with a 4 HP combo, basically 2-hit combo, where you take 4 damage, which is a joke. It was so jarring when I just took 4 damage at once fighting this stupid Savage Beast Fly. And the only thing that doesn't do 2 damage in this entire boss fight, by the way, is touching the flying white guys. And by the way, they have really good aim and their projectiles stay on the ground for a bit of time, which is just dumb. That's just stupid. That shouldn't be in the game. I don't know who truly thought of this idea of to have such a cancer boss. Like, a lot of people agree with me when I say that I felt a lot of hatred playing this game. I do think this game did some things really well. Like, for example, when I played Hollow Knight, I didn't actually finish that game, and I might go ahead and finish that game just so I can hate myself more. But in Hollow Knight, I felt a lot more lost than I did in this game, which I do think is a really good thing, because, you know, I don't think you should ever really feel lost in games. But in this game, I felt way less lost than in Hollow Knight, which was a good thing. They also did a lot more, you know, unique stuff, such as the crest system that I already explained. But personally, I would have rather had the Hollow Knight, artifact system, or like whatever, the notch system, than this. Because in that, you can kind of upgrade yourself with every single new notch you get. In this, you're just locked. Literally, as soon as I got this, I was basically maxed out. The only thing I can do is get these 2 and that's it. I am literally basically maxed out. There's nothing else I can do. literally no way else I can get more like improvement by getting more notches or getting more masks, upgrading my weapon. I mean, yes, there is the silk notches like these. I did not max out because I don't think they truly matter that much. I think getting the masks is a lot more important. They are really useful and they can be useful, but they're not as useful. The silk heart is also it's useful, but I don't know, mask is probably more useful. New upgrade is more useful. I also don't mind how they did rosaries and the shell shards in this game, with the shell shards replenishing your weaponry and the rosaries dropping once you die. But the reason why I had a bit of a problem is because, for example, in certain boss rooms, like, let me try and find Shellwood. For example, in Shellwood, so a big problem I had was that when you went into this area, you would like drop down into like a boss room. I'm sure say it was like here. You would go in. No, it was here. You would go in, and the only way at this time of the game is to go down. And if you died in like the gauntlet rooms or the boss rooms, if you died not near a door, what would happen is that you would have to go in to get your cocoon back, which is stupid. Oh yeah, the silky ears, but these only really appear in Act 2. You're not really finding them much in Act 1. So it's just kind of cancer. You have to go into the room. Now, obviously, not all rooms do this, and it's only rooms such as like these where it's actually in the environment, and it's not like a big boss. Like, for example, when I fought the boss here, what would happen is that my cocoon would be at the edge of the door, so I wouldn't have to go fight the entire room just to go get my cocoon, which was nice. But that's not for every room. It's the same when I was fighting the Savage Beastfly. When I died here, I could not just go, unless I died next to the left side, I could not just go get my cocoon and leave. I would have to go in deep and get my cocoon, then get molested. Yeah, I think that's also a really big oversight. I don't know how they didn't see that. I would say this game probably would be like an 8 out of 10 for me if I had finished all of Hollow Knight on the hardest difficulty possible. But obviously, I'm not fucking doing all that because I've heard that like Hollow Knight is super similar or has like some bigger problems or whatnot. But I feel like this game is only really playable if you play the first Hollow Knight, or you'll have more fun playing if you play the first Hollow Knight, because then you'll just be way better at the game off rip, and it'll make a lot of the things at the start less annoying. I personally did find it really annoying, like enemies all around, but I didn't think it was like truly that bad. I think I made a bit of a fuss about it, but I don't think I made big enough fuss about certain things that truly pissed me off, like finding all the fleas built to the third oil was just annoying, or like, for example, the Courier's Rash Air, where you go to speak to one of these dudes and then you gotta run literally across the entire map all the way to like here. It's just so, look at this distance. We're starting off here, and oh my god, you can't take that straight distance, by the way. It's just so long and cancer, and I hated all of it. It wasn't that bad because you can just press M and the time doesn't, like, the time stops and you can check your map. A lot of people would hold tab. I don't know what the fuck people were doing there. It wasn't that bad, but it was really annoying. Sinner's Road boss here. No, where was it? I think it was here. This was really annoying, that boss, like, right here. I hated that. I just hated all of Bilewater, Sinner's Road, and Putrefied Docks. There was fucking nothing redeeming about this place at all. It's all a pile of shit. Oh yeah, the reward for beating this boss, by the way, is a fucking bench. How ironic is that? The lack of benches in this entire area is rewarded by giving a bench. Truly a piece of shit game to, like, really wonder. Now, I would say overall, I would give this game a 5 out of 10. It's clearly not a game for me, because I'm just not the type of guy to play this type of shit at all, where it's just kind of cancerous and makes you pissed off, and that's kind of the main purpose of the game. But I do think some things were just really well done. I just feel like the game design perspective or the game testing was just really shittily done. I don't understand what the perspective was there. Like, I think some things kind of weren't obvious enough. Like, when I first went to Belheart and it was all, like, corrupted, my first thought was, oh, let me explore this place. I explore and it's all gone. Like, I can't do anything there. So after I beat the boss, come down and there's a shop, there's a fast travel and there's a person to speak to, I never considered going up because I had already done that previously. And therefore, that's why I ended up spending 25 hours without any needle upgrades. And it was truly jarring. I was so pissed off. And that was just really annoying. I hated that. I also didn't, I didn't find the final bosses, like, having to go here and give the thing, like, the 3 things before the second act final boss. I didn't find that too annoying. I just truly hate the Act 3 cancer that you will never be able to remove, and it will permanently change your map and you can do nothing about it. That is really annoying. I wish it was reversible some way, but obviously, if it was, then it wouldn't be Hollow Knight Silksong, because they can't do that. I just can't go over some place. I think, like, look at the amount of benches and deep docks. Yeah, I mean, look how stupidly spread out they are. Why is there none here? Why? Why is there none here? Why is there literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Why is there like 5 in literally like half of in the entire deep docks? What's the fucking thought process behind this? Like, I truly don't get it. And by the way, these aren't like empty space where there's 0 enemies. This is high dangerous areas. This is literally cancer. This is not easy. This is the harder part of deep docks. And it's just fucking, there's just no benches. But what is the mindset? Like, what is the mindset of Biowar, bro? This bench is a hidden secret. Like, you're not finding this unless you're really deeply looking or you search up. Like, this entire place without a bench and you have to go fight this guy. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. Yeah, I couldn't fathom how stupid. I hated it. I truly hated it. I don't like it at all, one bit. I think some things were like really obvious, like for example, when you got the needle in, I mean, those were really obvious, the ones that you were supposed to open. I thought that was some really good gameplay design, because when I got the needle in, I immediately went to like these doors, like this one, and then this one, and I immediately did the stuff and got my rewards, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But like, some things just aren't obvious, bro. Like, for example, near the end of the game, I had to search this up. I did not know that there was this secret path to go all the way into Biowar and unlock all this shit. I would have never found that in a million years. Never. Fucking never. By the way, the only reason why I even knew to look in this area was because I searched it up. I don't know. I don't actually fully search it up. Oh, yeah, by the way, when you're playing the game, you cannot just go from this place to this place. You actually have to go through all of Hunter's March from Marrow, just so you can be in a bit more pain, so the game can be a bit more shit. And even like, what was it, like around here, I would have never found this, bro. Like, do you know how cancer this is? Holy shit, I would have never found this if I didn't search it up again. Like, just so much searching up. I didn't have to search this up because it's not as unknown as it kind of like. For example, if you hadn't explored all this place, it will tell you that there's rooms to go into, but the other two, it just doesn't tell you. I had to search that up. I had to search up flea locations, and then what I did was I eventually searched up how to get the flea, massive flea up here. Even that didn't help me. I still ended up searching for the flea locations. I searched up all the mask locations. I searched up so much shit because otherwise I would just not find it, and I would not be happy with this game. If I didn't search up anything again, I would have rated this game a 3 out of 10. And the reason I'm rating a 5 out of 10 is because I could search stuff up. But again, I do not think in games you should have to search stuff up so you can have a fun experience. And that's why instead of giving it like a 6 or 7, I'm giving it a 5. I had more hatred in this game than I had happiness. I do think it is a well-made game. I just think there's just parts that truly make it a pile of dog shit. Like, you can have a game that looks like a 5 out of 10, but be a 10 out of 10 gameplay-wise, and it will be like a 9 out of 10 overall. But if your game is a 9 out of 10 looks-wise and like a fucking 3 out of 10, not 3 out of 10, 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10 on gameplay, that severely drags it down because the gameplay matters a lot more. Like, if you came for a story, then fair enough, but when in games, you're either trying to like give like fun gameplay or tell a meaningful story or give an experience. This game doesn't really do any of that. It doesn't really do any of that. Like, when I played, like for example, Doki Doki Literature Club, I had an experience. When I played Expedition 33, not only was the gameplay fun, I had an experience. But when I played Siege, I don't give a fuck about the story, but there's gameplay there that can be fun. I mean, Siege is kind of a bad example because like, games kind of become a pile of shit as we speak right now. But you know what I mean. Like, there is games, like Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals I've heard is a pretty good game. I haven't played it, but that game has a really got a good gameplay. I mean, there's lore there too, but it has mostly gameplay. This game, the gameplay underperforms. As good as the story is, I don't think it's a game that focuses on story at all. It's more like one full package. And the fact that the gameplay is just so monotonous and tedious at times really makes me want to fucking kill myself. And I truly regret putting 40 hours into this game. Overall, I'll give this game a 5 out of 10, but I would have rather played visual novels than play this game and not spend the £20 £16.75 I paid for this game. Anyways, that's my rant, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.